Good Monday evening, July 29th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A 32-year-old Bridgeport man was killed and a Quincy man and woman were injured in a head-on collision early Saturday morning on Highway 28 west of Quincy. A 22-year-old Grant County man was killed Friday afternoon when his pickup left the roadway and struck an embankment near Soap Lake. Cool weather with showers today, but expect triple-digit heat again by the end of the week. Your local weather forecast is straight ahead. Chelan County Emergency Management issued a Level 3 or Go Now evacuation notice for Stehekin over the weekend. The Level 3 notice took effect at 8 a.m. on Sunday and applies to the area from just north of Moore Point through the Stehekin Valley. That includes the Stehekin Landing and west to High Bridge. Other changes to evacuation levels include Moore Point to Safety Harbor being downgraded to Level 2, Safety Harbor to Camas Creek to Level 1, and a Level 1 advisory being lifted from Camas Creek to Mitchell Creek. Stehekin went to Level 2 on July 25th, and 130 people evacuated the area that day. There are people remaining in Stehekin, according to Sergeant Jason Reinfeld, who said 96 people plan to stay, with 18 people indicating they plan to leave within a few days, and 11 people who are mostly seasonal workers utilizing the shelter at the Chelan Community Gym at this time. A 32-year-old Bridgeport man was killed and a Quincy man and woman were injured in a head-on collision early Saturday morning on Highway 28 west of Quincy. The Washington State Patrol says Claudio Navarro Bernal was westbound in his 2008 Volkswagen Jetta about 2:35 a.m. when he crossed the center line and collided with an eastbound 2023 Toyota Tacoma being driven by 40-year-old Thomas Floresteron. The State Patrol said Navarro Bernal died at the scene. Floresteron and a passenger in his pickup, 42-year-old Carolina Cortez Garcia, were both transported to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee with undisclosed injuries. The highway was closed while troopers investigated the accident about a half-mile east of Spanish Castle. Haberdashery owner Jim Harville has moved operations to the newly opened Woody's Classic Man on Wenatchee Avenue. NCWLIFE News caught up with Harville to hear about his decision to relocate and the story behind the merchandise that he offers.
Well, I started a couple of years ago. Initially, I had a space, a little 9x9 space inside the consignment store down the road in Simply Unique. And I'm forever grateful for the opportunity that they afforded me there. And that's how I started. It was just a little space, as I said. But then, as I added more merchandise, my space, of course, stayed the same. So I was getting a little bit cluttered in there. So I was hoping to find a place that was bigger, that would allow me to have more merchandise. And some other people in the shop had the same thoughts. So I came here to talk to Sam Mills about the possibility of renting this place out. And right when I walked in, Sam said to me, "Well, Jim, I'm sorry, I'm going to be renting to this couple." And they turned around, and it was Kelly and Adam, whom I'd met, over the last couple of years when I found out that they opened a shop. So we would run into each other around town or up in Chelan. When I saw them that day, they said, "Jim, we were just talking about you, wondering how we could incorporate you into this." And I thought, this is serendipitous, this is perfect. And that's how it came to be. I've got some suits over here. There's some plain colored ones, and I've got some with what they call window pane or check plaid designs. I also offer made-to-measure suits. So they're not quite exactly custom, but the guys will try on the suit that fits them, the jacket that fits them the best, the pants that fit the best, and I've got a spec sheet, and I can go through it and say, okay, this is a 42 regular, but the sleeves are a little too long, so let's bring them up like an inch on your left arm, maybe a half inch on your right arm, because our arms are not exactly the same length. And I do those little tweaks like that. But before that point, they've got my material sample swatch books. So they'll go through and pick the exact material they want, the lining, how many buttons you want in the front, you know, how many buttons you want on the sleeve, what kind of lapels you want, all the whole 9 yards. So I've got suits for that. I've got some really cool ties. I mean, my day job, I work in Chelan County Superior Court, so I'm a suit and tie guy every day. So along those same lines, as you can see, why be normal, you know? I've got my black suits, I've got my gray suits, but I've got some colorful ones as well that I like to wear. So I like to sell that kind of aesthetic here. I've always said to my friends that I had a feeling that guys here in Wenatchee or in the Valley want to dress up more than they do. I can't tell you how many guys think that way, but I do know that 100% of their women think that way.
I'm Keith Gaynor, running to be your next 12th District State Senator. It has been a privilege to serve you the past 6 years in the House of Representatives. I believe public safety is a critical issue that affects all of Washington. This should be one of our highest priorities. Washington families are struggling. Housing, food, and gas prices are severely affecting our budgets. We need to find better ways to support our families. Together, we can build a better Washington.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
It's vacation season. While a trip to Hawaii sounds great, we know what you really want is an inflation vacation. That's why Abby's feeds a group of 4 to 6 people for less than $26. Enjoy an inflation vacation at Abby's. You can be a superhero tonight and treat your family to Abby's famous hometown hero. This giant features our classic pepperoni, tasty Italian sausage, and crisp green peppers, all layered together for a legendary feast. Don't miss this July special pizza at a very special price.
A 22-year-old Grant County man was killed Friday afternoon when his pickup left the roadway and struck an embankment not far from his home in Marlin. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says James' friend was thrown from the vehicle when it rolled over after hitting the embankment. He died at the scene about 12:40 p.m. on Road W Northeast. Marlin is east of Soap Lake in Grant County. A 26-year-old Tacoma man faces second-degree negligent driving charges after he lost control of his semi early Saturday morning and rolled it onto its side on Interstate 90 east of Moses Lake. The Washington State Patrol says Dennis M. Miller was driving east on I-90 about 6 a.m. when he veered onto the shoulder, struck some Washington State Department of Transportation property, overcorrected, and crashed into a cable barrier. The trailer tipped onto its side while the cab remained upright. Miller was not injured.
It's a great time to go into the medical profession. And this is the perfect place to start, because this is going to provide you that basic understanding in order to get into medical school, physical therapy school. So when you are ready to head on your career pathway, wherever it is, then you've already had some experience and say, oh, it's so cool. This is exactly what I want to do. So really, you're going to leave me with 13 college credits and a license with the state of Washington.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
What does RV stand for? Recreational vehicle or ruined vacation? At Click-It RV, we want you to have a fun, safe camping experience. So for the month of June, get to any Click-It RV store and get a professional propane leak test, tire pressure check, wheel bearings, roof, slide and battery test. And all inspections are free because we want you and yours to have a safe camping season. Thinking of upgrading? Check out their used selection of new and used top brands like Grand Design, Rockwood, Flagstaff, Winnebago, and more. So get to a Click-It RV store near you for a free inspection and keep your family safe.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Trucking company owner Jimmy Sherrill says he'd apply a biblical approach to Douglas County government as District 2 Commissioner. Sherrill is owner of Wenatchee-based Midland Trucking, a company founded by his father. The East Wenatchee Republican threw his hat into the primary election when Commissioner Kyle Steinberg announced he'd leave office this year after serving 2 terms. In tonight's feature story, he spoke with NCWLIFE Jefferson Robbins about his candidacy and about the tax penalties that have haunted his trucking business.
I would say there's 2 major issues that I have, what I want to run for, and one of those is law enforcement. I'm really passionate about our law enforcement. I feel like when everybody sits down, cities and counties and states sit down to do their budgets and they fall short, the first place they go is law enforcement. I have to say, I've lived here all my life. I've felt safe my entire life. And so I want those guys to be equipped with the best schooling and knowledge and equipment that money can buy, because they are the safety of our community. So huge deal for me in that situation. The other one is the growth management of what we're doing. I mean, if everybody in Douglas County was to go back and look on their taxes, they would see that our tax rate in Douglas County has actually went down. They don't feel like it because their price keeps going up. Well, that's because there's a huge increase in property value. Everybody's house is worth $50,000 to $100,000 more than it was worth. So as the assessed value comes in, it feels like I'm paying more property tax, but the property tax ratio is actually less than what it was. So our growth is doing fine, I think, and I think that it just needs to really be looked at.
What would be your philosophy about managing the county? I mean, are there particular life lessons you'd want to bring to bear?
I mean, I've owned a business in this valley, multiple businesses in this valley, majorly the trucking. So I'm good with numbers, I'm good with budget. When times are tough, we know where to make those educated decisions that have to happen. And a lot of this, I mean, some of it to me, or I shouldn't say some of it, all of it is based upon just a common sense strategic value of looking at things with biblical values. I think we've lost focus of that in our political world.
When you say biblical values, what do you think you would bring to, say, a discussion about budgeting or personnel at Douglas County that would require a biblical value to be applied?
Well, I think the biblical value of that is we're responsible for the money that we have. And so if we don't spend it wisely, then we're not holding up a biblical value of honoring what has basically God has given us.
Well, Midland is a company that's been going for a long time. Your father James was the founder, and you are the owner operator now.
Yeah.
In the last 3 years, Jimmy, Midland has been assessed a penalty for not paying its workers' compensation taxes, 2022, 23, 24, amounts going from about $3,000 to about $12,000 a year. Given that you want to run a county that's responsible about taxation, is this a responsibility that you should take on to a greater degree?
You know what, I really do think it is. We got left legacy debt. When my dad left, there was a lot of hidden stuff under cracks that we didn't know existed, or I didn't know they existed. So we acquired some very heavy legacy debt through multiple things, IRS, states, things that have punished us for a while. And so I believe that we have tried to do the best that we could do, but when you're in the trucking industry, there is a lot of repercussions of things that you don't know that has happened that haunt you for years and years and years to come. And so we have taken every tactical move we could to satisfy all these debts, and so that's what we're doing. I mean, it's about breaking problems down and fixing them in the outcome.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Not bad weather. We did have some cooler weather on both Saturday and Sunday and some shower activity today. And boy, as we look outside our weather window up north, up at Okanagan County, outside our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera, you can see the town of Pateros and Brewster and a lot of dark clouds along the horizon up north of that country, and some clouds there with some light showers, and we all experienced a little bit of that shower activity today. I'll tell you, anything is better than what we've had, which is basically nothing lately. So after we get by today, maybe some clouds lingering tomorrow and some showers in extreme Washington, we are going to dry out and begin to warm up, especially on Wednesday, where we will see temperatures around 90. Thursday, we're talking highs in the upper 90s, and then look what happens this weekend. Another heat wave begins. It'll begin for us on Thursday, go right through the weekend. We're talking temperatures, I think, between 100 and 105 degrees. But the big variable in all this, right here, smoky skies. If we do have that haze and smoke move in this weekend, I don't think we'll see those triple-digit temperatures. So what do you prefer, some smoky, cooler temperatures or no smoke and those hot temperatures? And we could see either one as we get into the upcoming weekend. It was a cool one today. In fact, we were 14 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. Our normal is 90. We just managed 76 degrees today. Folks, we're talking lows at 76 by the time we get into this weekend. Our record high just a few years ago, 105 degrees, and that was set in 2022. This morning, 66, right in line with our normal low of 64, 52 our record low, and that was set in 1983. Airport registered 1/100th of an inch of rain, and that was mainly around noontime, and that gets us to 3.21 inches for the year, and we're still over an inch and a quarter below where we should be for moisture for this time of year. Sunrise 5:36 this morning and sets tonight at 8:38. All right, let's get you into those Tuesday temperatures now. We will begin that slow warm up. 87s in the Columbia Basin, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Omak will be the warm spot at 88 degrees, and then primarily mid-80s from Ellensburg into Wenatchee over to Cashmere and up to Chelan as well, with low 80s for Lake Wenatchee and for Leavenworth for high temperatures tomorrow. So that'll still be below where we should be for this time of year. Taking a look at tonight, we have high pressure that's beginning to build in. Here's that trough of low pressure that brought us the clouds and some shower activity. We could still see some of that lingering behind the front, so we'll keep about a 20% chance of scattered rain showers tonight. Temperatures in those low to mid 60s for our overnight lows. Getting into Tuesday, mostly sunny. We could still see quite a few clouds over in western Washington. It'll be a slow warm up tomorrow anyway, with high temperatures in those mid 80s. So if you like cool weather, by all means, get out there on Tuesday. Wednesday, sunny and warmer. High pressure beginning to build up and over the Pacific Northwest, and it's going to allow all that southwestern heat to move our way. High temperatures around 90 on Wednesday, and then it's going up from there. First day of August on Thursday, and that will also be the first day of another heat wave for us. We're talking temperatures in the upper 90s to near 100 degrees. All of the West Coast scorching hot as we get into Thursday. And look at this for Friday, sunny and hot. If we don't see haze and smoke, we could be talking temperatures near 105 degrees on Friday. And folks, it is going to be a hot weekend. A wisp of high clouds on Saturday. We'll call it mostly sunny. High temperatures between 100 and 105. And as we get into the end of our forecast and our weekend on Sunday, not much change. High pressure in the desert southwest, and here we go with all that air moving our way, and it's going to stay this way for a while too, folks. High temperatures Sunday between 100 and 105. Remember, our last heat wave lasted 18 days. It looks like this one's going to be pretty prolonged as well. We'll know much more as our week progresses. Overnight tonight on our 7-day forecast, 64 degrees, 85 tomorrow, 90 on Wednesday, and then folks, it just keeps going up from there. 98 on Thursday, 104 possibly our high temperature on Friday, and look at that upcoming weekend. A mix of clouds and sun Saturday and 102. Sunny and 102, your high temperature on Sunday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Our cost of living is out of control, and people are hurting. Gas, food, and housing prices are among the nation's highest. The cost of crime is soaring, and we're the worst for taxes and spending. As governor, I will fund what works, fix what doesn't, and stop spending money we just don't have. Bob Ferguson won't change a thing. I will, and that's the difference.
Dave Reichert.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Lake Chelan Sports is the place to find top brands like Hoka, Ons, Patagonia, and now a full line of Warrior products. With excellent customer service, Lake Chelan Sports has what you need.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
And a happy Monday to you. We'll talk about the Olympics and about our own Haley Van Lith coming up. First of all, the Seattle Mariners completed a 3-game sweep of the Chicago White Sox Sunday with a 6-3 victory. Cal Raleigh had a 2-run homer and drove in 3 as Seattle jumped back into a tie with Houston atop the American League West.
Here's Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh swats this out to left field. Tagged well back, and they just keep coming. Cal Raleigh with some instant offense. He has homered in back-to-back games. And the Mariners on the board right away. As Leo Rivas climbs in. Rivas really choking up on that bat as he puts it in play. Taken there at short, over to second. Baldwin on to first, not in time, and a run scores. Leo Rivas puts together a pesky AB. Able to avoid a double play and push across the Mariners' 3rd run. It's 3-0 in the second. 3-2 on Haniger on a pitch that was a touch off the plate. 2 in scoring position, infield in. Hard hit grounder, and it's passed to Young. Oh, a nightmare inning for Paul DeYoung. Polanco is in. Dylan Moore with his speed scores standing. And the Mariners cash in for 2 more. And the Boo Birds reign here on the south side. And Paul DeYoung is feeling it over at third base. Oh. Munoz trying to finish the day. The 1-2. And a lazy fly ball out to left field. Randy Arozarena is in, and the Mariners break out the brooms on the south side.
Seattle is in Boston this afternoon to take on the Red Sox in the first of 3 games. You can watch that game on Root Sports Northwest. Well, the Dodgers beat Houston 6-2 as the Astros and Mariners remain in a virtual tie for first in the American League West. Texas was swept by the Blue Jays to fall to 4.5 games back. The Angels beat the A's Sunday 8-6. Well, the tempo certainly picked up dramatically in Seahawks training camp today. This was the first day under Coach Mike McDonald that his staff for Seattle practiced in pads. After a day of rest yesterday, Coach McDonald was eager to see actual hitting for the first time.
I want to feel us, man. I want to feel who's out there, and I want to feel the physicality and who's going to move people. We want to do it smart. You know, we want to take care of one another, but we also got to sharpen it as well. So that's a challenge. It'll be our first practice in pads, understanding the expectations, but it'll be pretty clear when we get out here.
McDonald and his staff are also getting the players gathered at Virginia Mason Athletic Center a little earlier than normal.
The first thing is this, so it's just not monotonous, and then the other thought is we have a couple East Coast trips where, hey, guys, we've done it before. We've gotten up, we've gotten after it, gotten activated, and had a great day. So just another little set of confidence, you know, going into some of those East Coast games.
Seattle has its first preseason game a week from this Saturday in L.A. against the Chargers. The Wenatchee Apple Sox came up short in 2 of 3 games over the weekend in Edmonton, including yesterday's 4-2 defeat. Voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, tells us Wenatchee got out to early leads both Saturday and Sunday, but couldn't hold them in both of those contests.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox dropped 2 of 3 games in their first leg of their 6-game Canadian road trip as they won the series opener against Edmonton on Friday, but fall in the next 2 games. And the theme of the games on Saturday and Sunday were the big innings for the Riverhawks. They scored 5 runs in the 6th inning on Saturday night, and then 4 times in the bottom of the 2nd inning on Sunday as they wrap up the series with a 4-2 triumph at Remax Field. The Apple Sox scored first on Sunday, striking in the 1st inning. The 2nd straight day where they got runs early, but the bats just went quiet. Their 2nd day being held to just 2 runs in a game, and Wenatchee unable to win this series, and now heading off to Kelowna to try and pick up some victories. Jackson Campbell was terrific in relief. He did not allow any runs in his 3rd outing of the summer of at least 3 2/3 scoreless innings. He was phenomenal, but picked up a no decision in this game. Wenatchee is at Kelowna on Monday night with first pitch at 6:35 at Elks Stadium. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Aiden Doherty continued his swinging of a hot bat for Wenatchee Sunday. Went 3 for 4 with an RBI. Cam Hoyland took the loss on the mound, lasting just 3 1/3, allowing 4 runs on 8 hits. As Joel mentioned, Wenatchee's in Kelowna to begin a 3-game series tonight. That game you can hear on Sunny FM. Checking the Les Schwab WCL scoreboard from Sunday, Bellingham nipped Nanaimo 7-5. Victoria vaulted Kamloops 7-3. Walla Walla sprung Springfield 8-4. Bend beat Yakima Valley 9-3. Portland popped Corvallis 9-0. Ridgeville got by Cowles 10-6. Port Angela scored 4 runs in the 11th to beat Kelowna 8-5. The West Coast League North second half standings show Wenatchee and Bellingham tied for first at 11-7. Victoria and Port Angeles are game back at 10-8. Nanaimo and Edmonton lurk in the shadows at 9-9. Ridgefield is back atop the standings in the WCL South at 15-4. Portland is a half game back at 15-5. Bend is a game and a half back at 13-5. Both Corvallis and Wenatchee have already secured a spot in the playoffs by winning the first half titles in the South and North, respectively. Well, Kashmir grad Haley Van Lith begins her first Olympic competition tomorrow. Haley is the only collegian on a Team USA women's 3x3 basketball tournament. Van Lith joins pro players Sierra Burdick, also Derica Hamby, and Ryan Howard as they begin pool play against Germany tomorrow morning at 8. Van Lith says she's loving the experience in Paris so far.
Paris has been great. It's a great city to be in, my first time, so I'm soaking it all in. But we've started with some friendlies, we're getting some live action. It's great for us. We're smoothing things out, and the chemistry is really there, so I'm excited to get started.
Following tomorrow's game against Germany, the USA team will face Azerbaijan at 12:30 our time Wednesday. They'll face Australia and Spain Thursday, followed by France and Canada Friday. They'll finish pool play Saturday morning against China before the quarterfinals begin. Semifinals and championship games are set to be played Monday, August 5th. You can watch Haley and her teammates on the Peacock stream. Team USA has won the most medals so far in Paris with 20, 3 gold, 8 silver, and 9 bronze. Korea leads the gold medal count with 5, while France has 4. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Monday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCWLIFE app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news weather, sports, and more, live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCWLIFE app now.